His reputation is expanding faster than the universe. He once had an awkward moment, just to see how it feels. He lives vicariously through himself. He's been known to cure narcolepsy just by walking into a room. His organ donation card also lists his beard. He's a lover, not a fighter. But he's also a fighter, so don't get any ideas. He wouldn't be afraid to show his feminine side, if he had one. His mother has a tattoo that reads, Son. At museums, he's allowed to touch the art. He is the life of parties he has never attended. If he were to punch you in the face, you would have to fight off the strong urge to thank him. Sharks have a week dedicated to him. His personality is so magnetic, he is unable to carry credit cards. Even his enemies list him as their emergency contact number. He never says something tastes like chicken, not even chicken. His words carry weight that would break a less interesting man's jaw. He's won trophies for his game face alone. He bowls overhand. The police often question him just because they find him interesting. His beard alone has experienced more than a lesser man's entire body. His blood smells like cologne. People hang on his every word, even the prepositions. He could disarm you with his looks or his hands. Either way. He can speak French in Russian. He is the most interesting, 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 the most interesting man in the world, man in the world, man in the world.
Greetings, my friends. Perhaps it's to health, or maybe prosperity, or maybe to a certain Portuguese fisherman who's faring the Atlantic for your personal order of lobster. Whatever you raise your glasses to, make sure it's worth raising your glass for. So, lift your bottle and share a toast to whatever it is that keeps you thirsting for more. Stay thirsty, my friend.
If he were to pat you on the back, you would list it on your resume. Both sides of his pillow are cool. When in Rome, they do as he does. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends.
So one night we were making snowmen and we were making snow angels, but we went back inside and
Stay thirsty, my friends.
His charm is so contagious, vaccines have been created for it. Years ago, he built a city out of blocks. Today, over 600,000 people live and work there. He is the only man to ever ace a Rorschach test. Every time he goes for a swim, dolphins appear. If he were to give you directions, you'd never get lost, and you'd arrive at least 5 minutes early. His legend precedes him, the way lightning precedes thunder. He is the most interesting man in the world. If he were to mail a letter without postage, it would still get there. The pheromones he secretes have been known to affect people miles away in a slight but measurable way. He once punched a magician. That's right, you heard me. His blood smells like cologne. His hands feel like rich brown suede. He is the most interesting man in the world.
The things you have heard about me are all true. It is true that I lived in a cave for a summer in the hills of the Serengeti after being gifted a wife by a local tribe's leader. It is true that I own 3 sports cars and write 5. and that I taught a horse to read my email for me. I almost broke the land speed record in 1977. Popular opinion amongst my team was that my beard caused too much wind resistance. I would have shaved it, except, no, I wouldn't have. Anyway, the women, they seemed to like it, and I was the featured guest at a charity bachelor auction that very night. It seems I recall that I brought in over 13 million lira, which was quite a large sum at that time. Forgive me, I digress. When I was first contacted by Dos Equis to share my acquired knowledge on their behalf, I was very excited. You see, I fell in love with Dos Equis after my short stay in a jail in Guadalajara. In fact, I returned every Thursday after I was sprung to play canasta with some of the guards. But I am no shill. I express reservations. I usually avoid the public limelight after my fling with the Princess Nukilani of Angola caused such a spectacle. But after being bested by Willem in a vigorous fencing match, it became clear to me that he was no man to say no to. So, I accepted. Of course, the 50 cases of lager he delivered to my bungalow didn't hurt. So allow me to introduce myself. I am, in fact, the world's most interesting man.
The Aztec calendar has his Cinco de Mayo party chiseled in. The front of his house looks like it was built by the Mayans, because it was. If you were to see him walking at Chihuahua, it would still look masculine. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Stay thirsty, my friends.